Well, hello there, Libra. How are you? It is so good to see you. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. It's so wonderful to see you. Sorry I haven't been around, but I am back and feeling so excited to see you. So today we are going to do a special reading. This is in celebration of the new moon in Sagittarius and the 12/12 portal, both of which are happening today on December 12th. So the 12/12 portal is a great time for us to kind of reflect on what has occurred in 2023, reassess our life, and kind of helps us to kind of like take a look at what it is that we would like to have come into our life in 2024. And the new moon in Sagittarius is all about expansion. So this is a beautiful energy of wanting expansion, especially in one area of your life. And this is occurring in your third house of communication and mindset. So you could be finding that you're wanting to communicate with more people. You could have felt like you've been a little bit of a hermit up to this point, all of a sudden wanting to communicate with more people. It's also about siblings and stuff like that. You may be wanting to have more communication with extended family members or with friends, bringing in new soul tribe members. And it's also about your mindset. So you could be even, having an expansion of your mindset, not so much kind of confined to what you have thought before, kind of like experiencing this energy of wanting to gain perceptions or perspectives, other perspectives, the perspectives of other people, and how you can kind of incorporate that into your own life, into your own mindset. All right, so let's get into this. We're going to first take a look at the overall energy for this portal time. This is good for the next 3 to 4 weeks. And then we'll also take a look at any areas of resistance or obstacles on your path. So let's take a look what we have here. Black Bear, Guardian, gentle and wise protector. Give me your confidence and power. Help me protect the ones I love. Awaken my intuition and guide me. Okay, so Libra, this is really kind of an interesting energy with your third house, right? Of, your mindset and, communication. I feel like there's almost a sense of, wanting to kind of like have better communication, especially with family members or people that are really close to you. And I don't mean that, like, you may talk to them, on a regular basis or something, but this is the energy I'm getting here is wanting deeper connection with them, that have the communication not be so maybe so much surface level or something, but having deeper conversations with people that are really important to you. So if, this could be even friends or something. And I'm not saying that you may not have, philosophical conversations occasionally or something with some people. But I think that this is more on an emotional level, wanting to have the communication about your feelings, about things that are occurring either in your life or in that relationship, and wanting to garner this sense of love and commitment in your relationships. And then what do we have here? Staying focused, hold the course. Yeah. There's almost an energy here, especially over the last 6 months. You could have had a little bit of turmoil in your life, perhaps even in your relationships. And that this is one of the things that you're kind of like going back. The staying focused is going back to that energy of, I want to have these relationships in my life. You may have had a lot of chaos and conflict in some of your relationships, and perhaps because of the communication that occurred, right? So there could have been disagreements or, hurt words between you and other people in your life that this may be coming into play with, especially in the family sector. So I feel like what you're doing is you're staying focused on your goal, that you really and truly do want these people in your life. You may have at one time said, oh, well, that's it. I'm walking away from that person or something, or I'm distancing myself. But now your focus seems to be on the love that you want out of those relationships. It's not, and I'm going to say, because It's not an energy of wanting to just reconcile. It's, wow, this is really kind of deep, Libra. This is the energy of understanding that, I think especially if you have a couple of relationships that you would like to heal, okay? This is the energy of understanding that there's something on a very deep emotional level for yourself. Perhaps your inner child. I'm kind of getting that inner child. That there's a reason why perhaps you acted or reacted the way you did during difficult conversations or conflict with these people or person, especially family members. I'm getting family members, especially, that, you know, there was something that your inner child, right? This little cub here, your inner child was wounded and reacted perhaps in a way that at the time, kind of like, you may have just felt super hurt and you reacted or acted in a way that now, going back after doing some healing, like you're looking at the situation in a different way. And this is truly kind of like the energy of your angels are protecting you at this time. Because I think there's almost this sense of wanting to, you know, this nurturing energy of wanting to reconnect. And I'm not saying this, I don't feel like this is a romantic partner or anything like that. It's not like wanting to just like reconcile to reconcile. This is a true, and so it may not resonate with everybody, right? This is somebody that's in your life, and it could be a romantic partner, but I feel like it's more family energy. Somebody that I think I think this person hurt you, but in the end, I think you're recognizing that you also hurt this person by either the way you acted, reacted, or something like that. I'm not saying, you know, I think that something happened and then there was something here where I feel like you want to heal this connection. You know, we've all had those moments in our life where we do say or react in a certain way. And, you know, when those words come out, you can't take them back, right? And I feel like either somebody said or did something to you, right? And then you may have said or did something in return. I don't feel like you started this. It's not that. But I think that there is this genuine, how can we make this right energy here? Really interesting. Yeah. You know, Libra, wow, my heart is just going out to you because I think you're taking on a lot of, there's almost, I don't want to say guilt, but kind of shame, maybe a little bit of shame out of what has occurred here. Even if the other person, even if this is going to be able to heal, okay? So I think that this is a huge soul lesson. Like, if you can see this connection and what has occurred on the spiritual level, and that is why this may not resonate with everybody, because it's about looking at this from the spiritual level, the soul contract level. And sometimes it is really hard for us to do that because we live in the 3D, right? This is one of those situations, right? Where it's kind of like you see how things, this is for those of you that can kind of connect the dots, right? And it's helping you to see, you know how I was talking about different perspectives of a situation? I think you can now see a different perspectives, maybe the perspective of this other person or something like that. You can see the different perspectives. perhaps in the past, when it first happened, you could not see the role that you played in the situation, right? And now it's kind of like you can see the role that you played. And once again, I'm definitely not like pointing fingers or anything like that, but it's kind of like you understand that you played a role in it. And what you're doing is you're kind of like healing that energy. And for some of you, you could have a little bit of regret of how the way that you acted or reacted, the words that you said, or the part that you played in it. This is a little bit of, clearing up karma, right? There's a little bit of clearing up karma. And I think that the cool thing here is that there's so much healing here in this connection. And keeping in mind, right, that when we heal ourselves, when we heal a connection, we are healing the collective, right? And right now, we need so much healing on our planet. And this is kind of like part of your destiny. This is definitely, I'm going to skip to this. This is definitely part of your destiny to heal this connection. And if this is a romantic partner or something like that, this of course is not somebody that has been abusive or something like that. This is a connection that went sideways. You may not even know exactly why it went sideways, right? It's one of those types of situations where it's kind of like, you could even have tried to explain to a friend why this connection went sideways, and you're in the middle of the conversation and you're kind of like, it doesn't even make sense, right? And now it's kind of like you're understanding that this conflict had to happen because there were spiritual lessons that you signed up to learn, and that this other person signed up to learn. Like, you've learned those lessons, and now it's time for you to come back together. For some of you, this could be a twin flame connection. It could be a twin flame connection where it's time now. You've learned the lesson. They've learned the lesson. Now it's time for you to come back, because it is all about compromising, rebuilding something, because we do have the regeneration card here. So it's about rebuilding something. Yeah, you have the Six of Wands and the Sun. Now, if you're saying there's no way I'm getting back with somebody, or I'm not, it could be a family member, your parents or a sibling or something like that, and you're like, no, they're out of my life, then once again, this probably isn't your reading. But for those of you that have this, kind of like deep heart kind of opening here, this reading is for you, because it's time to move on from the turbulent times in this relationship towards peace. Okay? The Six of Swords is moving from turbulent times to peaceful waters. So let's take a look at what have you learned over the last year, 2023 especially, okay? You have the Nine of Wands, and you have the Divine Feminine, the Yin energy, right? It's been a long, wounded warrior, okay? It's been a long road of learning how to love. This is all about loving, nurturing. You see how this mother is nurturing the cub? Right? It's a long road of learning how to love your own inner child. That whatever occurred in this situation, it was part of the wounded inner child that may have acted or reacted in that moment. If there's like this conversation, right, that just was, very full of conflict, or a situation that just ended abruptly, right? There's something about your inner child here, and it's taken a long time for you to heal that part of your inner child. I think for those of you that have been working a lot on your inner child, doing this inner work, this is probably resonating with you, right? Because this has been a very long road. This has not happened overnight. This is for those of you that have been working a very long time. For some of you, it could have something to do with father, but it doesn't have to, or a spouse. And then we have the judgment. Once again, second chances at a relationship that, and then we have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, for some of you, this is a marriage, a romantic partnership, or coming back together with, parents or siblings, family energy, definitely here. I think for those of you, this is not just a romantic partner. It's probably somebody maybe that you were even married to, okay, or definitely, committed to. Yeah, lovers. Yeah, I mean, it's taking a lot of strength. It's taken a lot of strength to build the healthy boundaries that you perhaps needed to build. Okay, so when we don't have healthy boundaries, right? What we do is we end up closing up our hearts. And for some of you, I think that you had that wounding as a child. So you really closed up your heart as a child. You may not have been able to have emotional intimacy with romantic partners in the past. Or let's flip the switch. It could be somebody that you are dealing with, right? Couldn't have this emotional intimacy. And now you had to go on this single journey, or you had to disconnect from somebody so that you could do that inner child healing. And here you go. You have the Lovers, the King of Wands, and the Six of Wands, right? Reigniting the passion, the inspiration of what it is that you wanted in your life, and being recognized for it, because you've built those healthy boundaries so you can open your heart. When we don't have healthy boundaries, we get hurt. And then when we get hurt, we shut down our heart. This is where you have worked really hard to heal your heart, to build healthy boundaries. And now you are willing to open your heart again. And part of it is healing things that have happened in the past, right? So what's your area of expansion? Yeah, I feel like, once again, we have the page here. It could be if you have like adult children or children you're estranged from, you may want to reconnect to those, to your child. Or it could be that, you're the child and you want to reconnect to parents, or it could be family. Once again, this sense of family, we have community. This is the area of expansion, of wanting to have better communication, having better conversations, more, emotional interaction with these people. So for instance, like if say it's your father, because we have the King of Pentacles, and maybe all of your discussions are about your career or money or, things, okay? Because the King of Pentacles is all about material things. This is changing that relationship, opening that relationship up to having deeper emotional conversations about, your own fears in life, of what you wish and hope for yourself and for your children and for your family, right? It's like getting to the deeper things, expressing your emotions, allowing this person to know how much they mean to you in your life. Whereas everything else could have been, I'm not saying you didn't have conversations, but they were more surface. This is like, no, I want to go deeper. I want to have these conversations. I want you to know who I truly am, right? Not just on the surface, but deep down. Yeah. Yeah, so there has been some conflict. You have the Five of Swords here. There's been a lot of conflict. So there's been a lot of pain. And once again, for some of you, this could be your childhood, either your parents or it could be siblings. But here you have the High Priestess and the Chariot, knowing that you have to allow your own divine masculine and feminine to come together to balance out before you can balance out other relationships in your life. Right. And with the High Priestess, using your intuition, knowing, I think for some of you, you're awakening to the idea, it is time for me to build these deeper relationships. And for some of you to heal relationships that have gone sideways in the past. So let's take a look at what your obstacle is. Yeah, I think your true obstacle is that you're having a hard time having this sense of celebration coming into this, having the healing, because you have the star card here. There is healing that is going to be, that is wanting to occur in this situation. The healing is wanting to occur. Your obstacle is, are you open to healing it, right? Are you willing to do your part? Are you willing to open your heart, to share your emotions about what has happened here, and also sharing how much you also are sorry, I guess, I'm trying to think of another word, for your part in this. It's not just about sharing your emotions of how this person hurt you. It's also seeing their perspective in this situation and understanding your part in bringing pain to them. That is where the healing has occurred, or is open to occurring, right? So let's see what we have here. Yeah, and you're showing up. Look at this. You have the 10 of Cups. So you have the 6 of Swords, the Libra energy of the Justice, the 8 of Pentacles, and then the 10 of Cups. You know, once again, there's at least 2 people here, you and at least one other person. And just in anything, Libra, right? We all play a part in whatever goes down. And I feel like this is a very opportune time, especially Pluto moves into Aquarius January 20th. So I think this all occurs before January 20th, right? There is this heart opening, this loving, nurturing energy that is coming around that wants to help heal this situation, right? It's divinely timed. It's destiny. You have the healing, the star card coming in here, knowing that this is that healing this situation, okay, even if you don't want to reconcile with this person, like if it's a romantic partner, you don't want to get back together with them. It's not that. It's about healing the emotions, having those conversations, closing this energy out, sharing your emotions and allowing this person to share their emotions, right? In a safe environment, in a loving way, kind of like healing, doing the healing, the forgiving that needs to be done in this situation helps you to open up. Okay, if it's not somebody you want to get together with again, be reunited with forever, right? It's about, okay, I have to heal this situation. This is part of your karma, is healing this situation so that you can bring in new relationships. Yeah. Yeah, it's about the truth. The truth is expanding your perception of something that has happened, because the truth of the matter is that, for some of you're reassessing that in your emotional sector, okay? The King of Cups, in your emotional sector, you're not feeling very connected, perhaps, to some people in your life that really mean a lot to you. So once again, family, right? So you could have a romantic partner or a really good friend that you feel really connected to, but not to the people that also mean a lot to you. Like, once again, your family, okay? Or a romantic partner from the past. It's time to decide, right? It's time you get to make the decision about whether or not you want to bring healing to this situation. The stars are aligned. Let's put it that way. The stars are aligned for this healing to occur. It's up to you. Do you want to allow the healing to occur? Are you open, right, to being open with this person, knowing that you have worked on building healthy boundaries so that you can protect your heart and yet at the same time be emotionally open with this person or these people? Really interesting. I mean, Libra, for those of you that are courageous enough to do this, to walk on this path, knowing that this is your destiny, knowing that this is part of the soul contract. This is not easy, because I feel like somebody has really and truly hurt you. but it's about it's about recognizing that when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable and emotionally share ourselves with somebody that has hurt us, okay, in one way or another. And once again, I want to say this is not somebody that has been abusive, okay? That is not this situation. But for a relationship that has gone sideways, right? You've just had different opinions of something, okay? That when you do this, you're opening yourself up to seeing a different perspectives of the situation because of these conversations that you have with this person, but you're also opening yourself up and allowing yourself to share something that maybe you haven't been yet willing to share with this person. This person doesn't understand your perspective. And one of the reasons is because you may feel like you've shared your perspective or your feelings about the situation. But because this is occurring in your third house, I feel like you maybe haven't shared it in a way where they can understand it on their level. Very deep, very spiritual. Okay, so Libra, let's pull a soul truth card for you. I want you to keep in mind that you are not only healing this situation, healing your own heart. You are truly, by doing this, also helping to heal the collective. It is that much of a sense that I get with this. That is how deep this connection is, right? Okay, so let's pull a soul truth card for some final advice. And Libra, I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. All right, do I surrender myself with people who lift me up? Yeah. Okay, so it says, the people with whom we surround ourselves determine who we become. Does your tribe fill you up? Do they inspire you? Do they believe in you? Do they help you step into your greatest potential? And I feel like that's kind of the energy here, where I feel like this is not necessarily like, somebody that's been abusive, right? Once again, but this is somebody that maybe didn't support you in the past. It could be a father, right? That maybe didn't support you in the past. And it's kind of like allowing the healing to occur in this situation. Like, you may not understand why they had their perspective of the situation, of what you were doing, right? Make a desire list of the type of people with whom you wish to surround yourself and clarify if there's anyone in your life who no longer serves you. Can you love them from a distance? Yeah, this is about allowing love and healing to occur in a situation when you feel like somebody hasn't had your back, hasn't supported you, right? And then because of that, you may have even, once again, that inner child, right, may have reacted in a way. And it's kind of like coming to terms with that. I'm getting the sense that this could be one of those situations where this could be even somebody, like a parent or a sibling or somebody like that, when that person passes from this lifetime, okay, and you don't have this conversation, it's about thinking about the regret that you may have because you didn't heal this. It's so interesting because I had somewhat of a similar situation, and it was, one of my siblings recently, and we reconciled. we reconciled. And it had been a very long time, a very long road, I'll put it that way, right? And going back from young childhood, okay, the road that the two of us had, and looking back on it, I can say that I truly recognize that it was part of our spiritual journeys, right? And having those conversations, understanding, okay, her perspective of things that had occurred in her life, my life, our lives together, right? It really did help to bring a sense of healing to the situation. in a way that I never expected, you know? And so I feel like that's a little bit like this. It's not anything else other than opening up your heart and recognizing it's a little bit of what do you have to lose, right? A little bit of that. And, you know, how would you feel if you didn't heal this situation, you know? And I think for some of you that feel like the other person is closed off and is not willing to hear your side, I think that there is something about divine timing here, right? There is this opening, this portal of time. You know, over the next 3 to 4 weeks, there's this portal of being able to have this conversation in a very loving way. And bringing that expectation, you know, of yourself, of opening up your heart, of recognizing you need healthy boundaries. But it's not about being closed off. It's about really and truly having that conversation. I think for some of you, it could be, you know, a father or a spouse, you know, that type of energy. All right, I'm going to leave it there, Libra. I do wish you so much love and light, especially in this situation, or, you know, in situations, especially over these holidays, you know, kind of like coming back together with family, perhaps, and allowing yourself to have some of these more open conversations with them, loving conversations. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I wish you so much love and light. Bye for now.